tremendously. We're getting excited. We some great football coming up. We got one more game of the regular season. I can't believe how fast the season came and went. We get ready to playoffs. Mr. Byron Jones, how you doing today?
Wonderful. Besides getting ready for the snow that's coming on Saturday.
Yes. Yeah, I'm getting ready for that too. Send me pictures. You got your
Yeah,
snow.
I'm sure you are.
You got your snow
Yeah,
blower.
man. I went out there, fired up one pull. Ooh, I was good.
Oh, really? Oh, so you open
I'm
it up,
good.
make sure is electric or gas?
Gas, and then I had to go buy another shovel because the other one got broke. So it was a
Why?
busy
What
day.
do you still need a shovel? You don't know you have a snowblower because there's certain areas.
Yeah, yeah, for the like the sidewalk because I don't want because the last time I brought the snowblower up on the side like in front of the house, I chewed up
Mhm.
the rug that I forgot that was on the ground,
Oh my god,
and,
that's
and
all.
and it cost me
Well,
and it cost me $400 to get fixed.
I got my cashmere on today because it's a little chilly here, so dress it up a little bit for today. We got in the waiting room. We got Joey Bag of Donuts. We're about to bring him on, and we got to talk some Pittsburgh football. We got a few things to talk about. We some great games coming up. Some disappointing games last week. I was on the WC Fan show last night with Papa Joe and their team. It was good. They're big Dolphin, major Dolphin fans there.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I
it,
watched.
it it was a tough show getting beat down by there. So let's bring Joey in right now. All right, uh, boom, Mr. Joey, how are you?
Hello.
Welcome to the
Long
show.
time no see, guys. How are you?
Hey, our banter on Brandon Staley finally came true like 2 years later.
I was thinking about you when he got fired.
Santiago, I know you're there. I don't know if you want me to bring you in or just you're good.
It's okay. Hey guys. Yeah, sure. I'll join you guys for a bit.
All right, good. All right, so we got some good games coming up. Now, obviously, we got the Giants coming up against Philly. All right, um, you know, you never know what we're gonna get with the Giants, right? So, what are your thoughts on that, Byron? Let's start off there.
You know what we're gonna get? The end of the miserable season. That's what we're gonna get. It's gonna be done and over with. We don't have to watch them no more. My stomach is gonna stop hurting every week. Trying to figure out what these knuckleheads gonna do. And I'm glad the season's over.
Yeah. So, I want to ask you a question. So, before we bring anybody else in, so I kind of wanted just a few people in and have them join a little bit later. Um, being on different shows, or at least the shows I know, you could tell, you know, a little bit of difference about with our show that we'll debate. When we bring on some different guys on, but nobody. I call people homers, and last night somebody at least admitted they were a homer. Like I give her credit. Her name's Pamela. She was awesome.
Which show
But
Vic last night? What's it
the
called?
WC fan, right?
The WCFL. Yeah.
WCFL, Major Dolphin Show. They do nice fundraisers for cancer, for dolphin cancer awareness. But being on those shows, here's a question I have for you guys, and this will be for everybody here. But Byron, might ask you first, because I think you're there, but but just answer Byron Jones. Nothing to do with Victor Rocha, will you please? Okay, so don't you feel that like like in baseball, until the Cubs won the World Series, it was always like you just counted them out, no matter what. Is that a fair statement, everybody? In baseball, right?
Yep.
The Cubs are never going to win the World Series until they won the World Series, right? Okay. I feel the same way in football. I feel like the Cleveland Browns, when they had their receivers, they did nothing with Odell. They had a great running game. Baker was doing what he was doing, but you just can't count on them, right? I just Detroit. Still, you have to prove to me. That's why I was not a hater, but not a believer. Then I became a believer, and then they started going in a different direction, and then they played a little bit better. You understand? Do you feel that way about certain teams in the NFL that, like, look, until like even Dallas is one and done. I mean, it is what it is. Until they prove you wrong, don't you feel that way about some teams in the NFL?
The Jets. The Jets, they went out, they went all in, getting Aaron Rodgers, and all he's calling on all his buddies and all this other stuff. Then 4 times, four snaps into the season, done. And then the whole season just sort of collapsed. And they had a great defense, but for some reason, nothing clicked with them. They've been miserable since 1969. Joe Namath went the last time they won a Super Bowl, and they've just been bad. And every year, you expect, something. And when Vinny Testaverde was there, and Chad Pennington, and all these other guys that they had back in the day, and they were just right there. They were right there. And then when you had Bill Belichick, I think a couple days ago was the anniversary of him ripping up and quitting, on the Jets, the way that he did. But yeah, the Jets are probably in that boat too.
Okay, so let's forget about Aaron Rodgers. Let's say pre-Aaron Rodgers. I'm sorry for my Jet fans out there, Richie and all that. But at the end of the day, until the Jets prove it, like you just don't believe in it. Is that a fair statement? I mean, you just don't. And I feel that way about Detroit. I feel that way about Cleveland. I got to go down the line. I'm just trying to see because there's not as many teams. But there's just certain teams. Until you get there, I'm not gonna. You may get lucky one game and that's it. I just don't believe it's any further. That's how I feel.
Throw the Chargers in there too.
Chargers are another example, right? Even when they're high potent offense with Dan Fouts and all those with Phillips, I mean, the Chargers have always put up offensive numbers, always. Okay, but I couldn't get any far. I felt that way with Kansas City until Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes got there, right? But then, so if you feel that way about those teams, there are teams that are even worse, like we just mentioned, the Jets, the these other teams, right? Joey, any thoughts on that? Do you feel that way about certain teams that, like, they're still who they are? Like their identity is not going to get them past further.
The Steelers.
Hey,
I can't say the Steelers. The Steelers got 6 Super Bowls.
I think, yeah. I mean, I think there is something there. It seems like certain organizations have always been mediocre to bad, and certain organizations have always been good. And I don't know where you're going to throw the Steelers in that, but like you said, Steelers have won a lot. They're in the playoffs a lot. They probably have one of the best winning percentages in the last 50 years. I mean, they're always up there. But yeah, there are certain teams that just they're always not good. The Browns until this year have just been sad and horrible every single year. It's consistent. The Detroit has been bad every single year, but this year they're good.
Hold on. Wait, I don't want. Sorry to interrupt you. I'm not saying that they're just bad. Even when they're good, I'm saying that I don't trust them. Like I don't believe they're going to go any further into the play. That's what I'm saying. Like
you don't
Jets,
think they're going to go all the way,
right? You say the Jets win the AFC. If Aaron Rodgers isn't there, they win an AFC championship by or they just make it to the playoffs. I don't believe in them going any further. I don't believe that Cleveland, if they get lucky and beat Baltimore, because they do play Baltimore tough. I don't believe they're going to get any further. Detroit's been playing on and off. They got robbed, in my opinion, this weekend. Okay. But I don't believe they're going to go any further. I have to see it. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not saying that they're going to be bad. I'm saying just the organization. It's like the Cubs. They're like there's a jinx. There's something to them. It was like Boston till Boston started winning the World Series, right? They're not, that's what I'm talking about. Not just that they're going to be bad. Just in general, I don't believe that they can go further like these other organizations.
They just can't get over the hump. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
They just can't get to. I think the biggest example of that is the Cowboys. Every year they're good. Every year it looks like they're going to do something, and then every year they get in the playoffs and they are a bust. So you basically say, okay, until I see it, I'm not going to believe it. Even though the Cowboys look like they have a great team this year, they do the same thing every year. They just can't get over the hump.
That's
so
what
yeah,
I'm talking about.
we'll see.
That's how I feel about teams that haven't been historically good, because they're at least Dallas is constantly getting in, one and done, but getting in. But when you get the Clevelands or the Detroits or the others, there's still doubt in your mind unless you're just powerhousing through, right?
But Detroit had a huge turnaround, Vic. Like they were bad, losing for years, maybe a
That's
decade.
true.
Now they won the NFC North. That's a huge turnaround.
That is true. It's just their last few games they haven't played well, right? And the last game, then they got robbed. So, okay, Santiago, what are your thoughts on what I said?
Yeah, I mean, with Detroit, I think it's a huge polar transformation. I would say, winning the NFC North is it's a huge change. I thought so. Yeah, I mean, there's certain teams that don't do anything, like the Cowboys. Miami's also another good example how they changed this year. I think it's if they win this Sunday, for sure, we'll stamp it. That's like our Super Bowl win, kind of.
Yeah,
but
that's a big task.
It's a big task, which we'll talk about later. We talked about before.
So, anyways, I just wanted, and I'm just saying when I see some of these things happen, I'm just saying it's until you prove me, because as bad as like here's an example. Kansas City was one of those teams that I felt they're going to let you down if they go far. When Marty Schottenheimer was there, just I was always rooting for them. I had a buddy of mine, Byron, when you and I first started. Remember the gentleman passed away, Pelham McDaniels, right?
Yeah.
They, during that he played during that Schottenheimer. They were good, and they still, Montana took them to the playoffs. They still couldn't get any further, right? But the Chiefs are an example of not having a good season, not looking good. But they're a team that once they're in the playoffs, that can change for them because their defense is playing well. And if something just snaps offensively, you still got Patrick Mahomes, right? That's a team that you can beat. You got the Rams are probably one of the scarier teams that you weren't expecting coming in. They're playing some good football right now. Right. So I just, in general, I'm just saying, you talk about how good, we were talking about Cleveland, how good this and that. Yeah, but it's still Cleveland, right? It's just, that's how I look at it. Anyhow.
Yeah, but now they got Joe Flacco as a quarterback there. He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. So you don't know if some of that, that juju mojo stuff rubs off him onto everybody else. And they do have a great defense. You have to admit they do. They have a top 5 defense.
No doubt.
And they can run.
We talked about last night.
Right. They might.
And he's balling better than when he won the Super Bowl.
No, he was extraordinary the year. I think he threw
11.
And
that's when they had
11.
But he had Bray Lewis. I mean, their defense. The two Super
Who
Bowls.
was the receivers back then with the Ravens? Joe, you remember?
I don't even remember who they are.
The two Super Bowls they have were defensive.
I don't remember who the Ravens receivers were, but but they were both. That was the Ray Lewis team. Ray Lewis took them to the Super Bowl.
It wasn't Joe Flacco. Wasn't putting up the numbers he's putting up.
Flacco was a passenger.
Flacco had 11 touchdown passes during that run when they went to the Super Bowl in the playoffs. 11. Check it out.
Okay.
So he did help.
He helped. But I think he's playing really good football right now.
I think that's a mirage
for a guy who was sitting on watching TV for Thanksgiving. He was with us for Thanksgiving.
It's a cute story, but I think it's eventually. I think it's the Flacco thing is like Cinderella. At some point, the clock's going to turn midnight, and at some point, it's going to go bad for them. You can't rely on how old.
But
is
it won't be
76 years old.
No.
They had Torrey Smith back then.
That was a good receiver.
Who?
Yeah,
Torrey Smith.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about let's talk about this. We got the Giants and the Eagles. We'll wait a little bit on that one, right? But let's talk about that Dallas-Detroit. Byron, what are your thoughts on that?
It's starting to come out now that he tried to get cute with the referees, as far as what he did, the way they reported, because back in the day they would announce that on the whole loudspeaker, in the whole stadium where everybody knew.
That is true.
For some reason, right. Yeah, and for some reason they just didn't this time, and it kind of backfired on them. But yeah, it is what it is. But
I heard they demoted that crew.
Demoted. They're playing.
Yeah,
they're refereeing the Steelers game this weekend.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
that's
they didn't
good.
get demoted?
I don't
Well,
think
they're
they'll
just not
be
gonna do the
officiating in
playoffs.
the playoffs. I don't think they
Yeah,
will
he
do
won't be
that.
in the playoffs.
Yeah, but that's not a demotion.
Well,
They still made
Well,
it is a
it's-
pride
$40,000
thing.
this year.
How is it a demotion? Just everyone's getting picked for it. Right? There's so many units that are playing. It's just they're not demoted. To me, is they're ref in USFL.
Right.
Or the UFL.
Or,
Yeah.
or bagging groceries.
Yeah.
Or
Demoted is they're going back to college or whatever the deal is. That's demoted,
Nah,
right? So that's incorrect.
They're
Then.
gonna go back. They're gonna go back to their full-time job. That's when I go.
But do you agree that was
Whatever
a
it is.
bad call? I mean, that was blatantly. He was right next to the ref. Did I miss something there?
I think
What
they
did the
made a
coach
mistake
say?
and they're trying
Detroit's coach.
Was that?
What did the coach of Detroit say?
He
was-
said that they totally like they tried to make it as clear as possible what they were doing, but like you guys said, they were trying to get cute. They were trying to confuse the Cowboys, and what they ended up doing was confusing the ref. But like you said, Byron, they usually say number 74 is reporting as eligible.
As eligible, yes.
And
That is a
why
fact.
did nobody? Why did nobody? Now the Lions knew what they were doing. They had 70 and 68 out there, and they were trying to be cute about who is reporting eligible. But as soon as they didn't hear the ref say, or I don't know whether the ref
Too
said the
late.
wrong number
It's
or
too late
whatever,
then.
why didn't the coach say, "Whoa, time out! Whoa, what's going on here? You're doing it wrong." Nobody said anything in that whole team.
Who was
That's
supposed to
messed
say it? The coach or the players? Hey, ref, I'm
Probably the-
No,
Probably
no,
the coach.
the player
Player
has
is
to
supposed
report to the
report
ref
the head guy.
like he did.
Right,
He went
ref.
right up to him and said, "I'm reporting as eligible." Where that means another guy has to stay in on the line, right, Byron? One of the other
Yes.
guys. Okay. And he was the closest one. The one the ref said he heard was a different number who was farther away from him.
So he says.
So he says.
What
Right.
do you say?
So the player did his job. What Joey's saying, traditionally, the second I go in, I'm number 65. Ref, I'm reporting in as eligible. The ref announces, okay, number 65 is reporting as an eligible receiver. They're telling the
Everybody
defense. The defense has to know that.
Yeah.
You know what I
Right.
mean? So the defense is even aware of that. And just because they report eligible doesn't, it's not like a gimme that guy's getting the ball. It just
Correct.
isn't. It's just a tactic of opportunity, right? And that wasn't enough. I totally forgot about that one. Good point, Joey. So they didn't mention that. I just thought that was terrible. And then on the show the other day, they were just saying that Jerry was making sure that everyone got paid, that they were winning no matter what. Due to Jimmy Johnson's circle and all that. So anyhow, I thought that was a bad game. I thought Detroit's defense played very well.
a lot better than they've been.
And that's my point. See, Detroit, that goes back to what I was saying about Detroit. Their defense is going down. They finally stepped up in Dallas and still end up taking that loss, number one. And then number two, I mean, think about it. That 92-yard pass to CeeDee Lamb, no safety. The guy trips. Okay. And then I don't understand. What am I missing, Byron? He has two. How do you let guys like Tyreek, CeeDee Lamb, they're getting a Cooper Kupp. Remember, even in the playoffs when Cooper Kupp was left wide, how does that happen? How does that? How is he?
Because they're that good. That's why.
No,
That's it.
you double him. The Bucks beat Kansas City because they doubled Tyreek
Yeah,
Hill. They didn't let him deep.
They didn't really. But they didn't double him. They put the two safeties deep for Tyreek. When they played the Super Bowl, they were deep, and then they played the man across or
I consider that double though.
And,
Man deep.
I consider that
Yeah,
double.
but they were
Byron,
deep.
only because they were deep. And who were they deep for? Tyreek. So now you had the guy covering him short, and you had the guy. But CDM, listen to me.
CeeDee Lamb.
I am telling you that if I wish I could just bet on, I should probably can't bet on the game. I knew exactly that slant route was going to CeeDee Lamb. I would have jumped that right off the bat. I knew that was going to CeeDee Lamb. I was 3rd and 14. Who else are you going to go to?
But
I
that's
don't
how
understand.
good they are. That's how good
No.
they are.
He's
All
one of
those
those-
elite receivers, that's how good they are. Even when they're double teamed, even when everybody knows the ball is going to be coming to them, it still comes to them. That's how good they are. That is how good the connection is between those receivers and the quarterback.
Joey,
I say the same thing.
I would be okay if they were doubled and he beat them. I'm okay with that. Then you're right.
They beat the double
I'm
team.
saying when they don't double him, right? When they try to press and play man on Tyreek, there's some things you just don't do. I just don't understand that, right? They weren't doubling him though. You know what I mean? You got a slant pattern. You're 14 yards. You see how he's lined up. You're a defensive back. You got to cheat inside. He's got 14 yards. You got help behind you.
I'm telling you, they're that good. The
Yeah,
other team
he's
knows
one
that
of
those
those-
wide receivers are like. I say the same thing about Travis Kelce. You know, Mahomes throws it to, and Travis Kelce is wide open. It's like, how did you allow this? They allowed
No.
it because they don't know what's coming, but Mahomes and Kelce do.
I would beg to differ on that only because it seems to me that Travis Kelce and Mahomes, they're more street ball. Like when Kelsey's open, it's because he's finding an opening. CeeDee Lamb got hit on a slant. It wasn't like a broken play. It wasn't like he scrambled. It was a slant pattern.
But he's one of those
There was
Could have
no
been-
change. There was no
It could have been a
timing.
miscommunication in the defense. It could have been. It could have
He's
been
one of
the
those-
defense.
17
he's one of-
times.
Yeah, but he's one of those receivers that if you give it, they run a slant. He can break it 5 yards and take it to the house because he runs that well. He's one of the better
Yo, there's no
running
doubt.
guys once he gets the
I
ball
just-
in his
I
hand.
don't know why you don't take his inside when you got 14. You got 14 yards for a first down. I'm sorry. You don't give him the outside. Don't give him the inside. Because he was lined
You
up
wanna get the
inside.
outside?
Yeah,
You sure
because
you
he
wanna get
had
the outside.
I would have picked that ball off. I would have given the outside. Because he was an inside receiver. There was another receiver outside. So I had another defensive back out there. I had a safety behind me, and I had linebackers in the middle. So
Yeah, but
he
you're
had
gonna
to
have
go.
the
But it was third down, and we were pressing him, and the defense was getting to Dak. So it was all
Yeah,
about
but-
timing now.
Yeah, but you're going to have the outside receiver. If they're going to run a slant, the outside receiver is going to go deep. He's going to run off that deep safety back there. So that's
Right.
going to leave the inside defensive back by itself with CeeDee
Right.
Lamb.
And a
Coming across the middle.
linebacker
That's
behind
why.
him. And a linebacker behind him. The linebacker
I
was
would throw
behind him.
I would throw the same thing to him because he's
I
great
would've
with after he catches the ball, and he still be running.
I
But
would have
wait a
jumped.
minute, you would have jumped him like Victor this age or Victor 20 years, at 22.
At this age, I don't even think I could walk to him. So Victor at 22 would jump him.
Okay, I
mine
was
was
just checking.
mine was more brains than skill set, right? I mean, I had skills, but not at the level of these guys. But mine was the smell of the game. It's going to him. I knew it. I called it. It was going to. Anyhow, it just bothers me when they don't double guys like that and they just do things. CeeDee Lamb lit them up.
Almost 300.
So, yeah, and one play was for 92 yards. Right? One play was 92 yards. It was ridiculous. I wanted to see Detroit win that game, so I picked Detroit. Anyways, on that. All right, so let's move. Let's go ahead and move on. Let's go. Just so you know, Joey, I called it. Byron, I called it. I said my boy Tomlin is going to have another winning season, and here it is again.
Don't spoil him.
Okay, I am so happy for Mike Tomlin. He is going another year with a winning season with Mason Rudolph.
Who Joey likes.
I like them.
Mason
I'm so happy for
Rudolph.
him. I'm happy for. It's a wonderful story.
So tell us about it,
Um,
because Byron was asking me. Byron, ask Joey the question you asked me about Tomlin and the receivers. See what he has, because he has more
No,
insight on
I
it.
was just getting ready to do that too. I
All
want to
right,
know
good.
why is it for years Mike Tomlin has always had issues with the wide receivers. Why is that?
You have Antonio Brown who was crazy. Now you have George Pickens, who is having attitude problems. Deontay Johnson has had attitude problems. I think that's just his style. I think what Mike Tomlin does is say to the players, listen, I'm going to let you be you, but I need you to also be, responsible for your own actions. And when those players get angry, they act out, then, that back off approach does not work. So it depends on the player, but yeah, and I mean, he got a lot of production out of Antonio Brown. It was Antonio Brown didn't go crazy until he joined the Bucks and the Patriots and the Raiders and all that stuff. So he was relatively well behaved when he was with Tomlin. And you see what happened with Pickens. Pickens acted out. Deontay Johnson acted out. And, in the past couple of games, they've been very happy because they're getting the ball. So, it's just an approach he has that he lets the players be themselves. And sometimes that's good and sometimes that's bad. It's on the players to have their own responsibility to act accordingly. And when they don't, you have situations like this where they act out.
Joe, but
Well, let's go back. Let's go back a little bit further. Did he ever have problems with Burris Plaxico when he was there?
Little bit. I mean, I think there was an incident where he got caught with the police or something like that with marijuana or something like that, maybe. But yeah, a little bit of problems, but not too many.
What about Santonio Holmes? But he was with the other guy, right? With Cowher.
It was Santonio Holmes. No, Plaxico Burris, I don't think really had too many problems.
Santonio?
Just a little few things, but I also think that's
a lot of
receivers
position. That have issues with. Yeah, but
other receivers and other teams have problems too. I think it's the nature of the position.
You didn't answer his question though. You did answer every receiver all had issues. So Brian's question is, in other words, you. All I'm saying to you, I'm trying to be the mediator here. Is Byron asked, why does he have so many issues with receivers? Then you went down the list of receivers and mentioned they all had issues. And
there you go. And that's
the
why.
question is, why does he have so many issues with his receivers? Why are they all like go crazy?
It's okay. It's the nature of the position. And I mean, receivers have to kind of be divas because they all want the ball and they have no control over that. So, they have to hope that the quarterback throws it to them and throws it to them right. So, they kind of have to speak up. I mean, they're not, the only wide receivers to be divas. There's plenty of those. And maybe it's Tomlin's style to let players be themselves. Maybe that's why Tomlin has the most issues with receivers, because he backs off a little bit. He's not the strict authoritarian that the drill instructor. He lets
Bill Belichick.
Right. He's not Bill Belichick. He's more relaxed. So maybe that's why he has issues with wide receivers.
Yeah, but those two knuckleheads,
they all put up numbers.
But those two guys, like what's his name, Deontay Johnson, when the fumble, and he sort of stood there, and he's like, "Oh, look at the guy run the other direction." And then Pickens, when the guy was running in, could have scored a touchdown, and then he jumps out the way. Whoa! What was that?
But look what happened.
Weird.
The last game, not less than a week ago, the same running back was running for a touchdown, and what did George Pickens do? He blocked and helped the guy score a touchdown. So you say, yeah,
I wonder what happened.
You say, yeah, these wide receivers, they're acting out. What's wrong with Tomlin? Well, Tomlin fixed them. Tomlin, you could trash Tomlin when things go bad, but you got to give him credit when things go good too. And that same, he could have easily said to that Pickens, he could have said, you know what, you're riding the bench. Screw you, you're off the team, and then you would have lost him for the rest of the year and the rest of his career. But he was able to rehabilitate him, and now that player is productive and helping his teammates.
Okay, I feel better now. I'm good now.
Where's Matt Canada?
Hey,
well, that's a whole other thing. They thought Matt Canada was the problem, and it was really Kenny Pickett was the problem. Because now you see they changed quarterbacks, and now they're awesome. But it's too late.
So you're saying it's more Pickett than Canada?
Yes. Yes. Even with
He's a
Matt
Jersey guy. We
Canada.
can't bash the Jersey guy.
Oh, well, Kenny Pickett is
Oh,
not
we
very
can't bash
popular
the
in
Jersey
Pittsburgh
guy.
right now.
But Pickett was the golden child.
He was. But even when Matt Canada was offensive coordinator, there
All right, guys,
were plays there.
We got to move on this one. I wanted to get Byron this question from a pirate from a Pittsburgh fan. All right, let's go. I missed Eric, so I apologize, Eric. I didn't see you. I'm trying to get used to. I guess you can't see people in unless I'm on a different view, Santiago. I got to figure that out because I didn't even see the comments yet until now.
It's at the bottom. Anyway, yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, no, but I want full screen because I hate the little box.
Wow.
All right. So, what you think about Baltimore handed it to both the 49ers and they handed it to the Dolphins? I mean, that game was over at halftime. I mean, there was no joke. And then I will make a comment that we had a discussion, and they mentioned it today. Again, I listen to a lot of sport. The two channels I listen to the most, but it's three. But the two top ones is Get Up with Mike Greenberg. Mike Greenberg's a great guy. Met him in person. I listened to First Take.
At the airport.
At the airport. And then obviously ESPN. And
Skip Bayless, you listen to, right? No. Okay.
I don't like Skip Bayless. But what was I going to say to you is that they were talking about what I've been saying for the last couple of years. How many times have I said that I would like to see Lamar Jackson play a lot more like Patrick Mahomes, meaning don't just take off and run. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Buy
and run 100
time,
yards.
look downfield. Don't worry the 100 yards, this and that. Someone brought up at that WC fan.
WCFL.
That's WCFL last night. They made a good point. It is old school. Is you're a quarterback, you run out, they're in man, you should take off, right? Okay, that is true. But you're seeing how well Patrick Mahomes takes more steps, drop backs, steps, then comes towards the line, is always looking downfield before he decides to run. Lamar Jackson's a better athlete, a better runner, right? And now, man, he's buying so much time. Byron, what has he got? Like 8 seconds sometimes back?
That's
Sometimes
a lot of time, Byron.
he's just sitting there. I mean, and it's because of him. His line's doing pretty well, but it's usually when he breaks outside and he's so quick that you come at him, he's going to take you, right? I am happy to see what he's playing, but he demolished San Francisco, went into Miami, demolished Miami. Thoughts, Byron? I mean, they're hot. They look good.
This is one time I'll say, let's go to the videotape, because I told you last week
Deny.
Baltimore was going to smack them in the mouth. Baltimore,
I remember
Miami,
that.
wherever they play. I know I said that. I told you
I remember
that.
that.
I was going to put.
I don't
I had
remember.
not to call you on the phone. Oh,
I don't
deny
remember.
deflect. I took all I had not to call you on the phone and say, I told you.
I don't remember.
You
Pull the
don't
tape.
remember that?
No, at all.
Pull the tape.
I thought you
Joey
said-
picked
I thought-
Baltimore too.
I thought you said the opposite.
Not this week.
Deny,
Mm-mm.
deny, deflect. You didn't say it. You didn't say it.
They beat them up, just like I said. And, you got a point, as far as him getting, all that time he had to pass, because now he has people that he can actually throw the ball to. It's not just a tight end. Andrews is hurt and out for the season. They got the kid from Coastal Carolina, Lively. They got Zay Flowers, will probably be rookie of the year. Odell Beckham. I forgot what it be. Whatever his name. They got three good receivers. They have plenty
Bateman.
of receivers. And then they just Bateman. That's his name. Didn't they just sign a running back today?
Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin Cook. I've never heard of him.
Dalvin Cook. Whoa, yeah, because he ain't played. He was with the Jets. Getting rust and
Got cut this week.
cobwebs on. It got cut a couple days ago. So now they have
tell you,
Dalvin Cook. So now he has
Dalvin
even more
Cook's good.
weapons.
But what does that
Yes, he
mean? Like, you think that would have much of an effect for the Ravens?
Oh, yeah.
of course.
Oh,
man. He's
yeah.
a player. Dude, he lit it up for Minnesota.
But he hasn't played for a couple of weeks, right, Byron?
It's okay.
He'll be fresh.
He's going to be
Oh, he's
fresh.
fresh.
They're not going
Fresh leg.
to give him
Fresh
50
leg.
carries. They're not going to give him 50 carries, but he's going to earn his keep. Imagine a guy going to a team that has a chance to win a Super Bowl. You don't think he's going to be playing? You don't think he's going to be playing for a contract next year? He's got the talent. Look at his brother in Buffalo.
Yeah, but
You know,
but
now,
that was
let me ask you, 'cause everybody keeps saying this. Now, you brought it up, Joey, and you said the same thing. They said the same thing last night on the WCFL. Now he's got receivers. Okay, with all due respect, that is 100% correct. He's got some better receivers to throw to. He's got other things. But I don't care what receivers you have. If you got more than 4 seconds, those receivers are going to get open. Now they got to catch the ball, right? Because look at Evan Ingram. He just broke a record at Jacksonville. He dropped how many passes for the Giants, and he's catching all the balls for Jacksonville. Okay. Okay, but so all I'm saying to you is that yes, you have a combination of that Lamar's playing great football, waiting for his receivers. He's got better receivers, no doubt. But the fact that he's got 6 and 7 and 8 seconds to throw, I mean, are you going to tell me there's receivers out there that are not as good as those guys that can't get open? They're going to get open. It's hard to cover a guy that long. It is
without Mark Andrews, right, Byron?
Yeah, he was hurt a long time ago. And the other thing I got to bring up real quick, and I'm sure Vic can remember this. Remember back in the day when the Giants played the Packers in the playoffs, and they went on that boat trip? Well, allegedly, he's starting a boat trip for the guys, Spirit of Baltimore.
No.
His guy. Yeah, to go on a boat.
Before after the season or before the season? Before it's over.
No, after now. Like before the playoffs.
It can't be that stupid.
I hope we don't do it. Because I remember that was the downhill of the Giants after that picture.
Yeah.
That was when they went downhill. So anyhow, look. So let's move on to them. Baltimore, right? Plays
Pittsburgh when they played Green
Baltimore
Bay.
Plays Pittsburgh this week, no? Or
Pittsburgh at Pitt. No, it's at Baltimore.
It's in
right?
Baltimore. It's in Baltimore.
And Baltimore, very complicated situation there because if Pittsburgh win, that could complicate the Bills.
Now, yes. Well, basically, the Steelers need to win and the Bills need to lose for the Steelers to make the playoffs.
Right.
So
or
Jacksonville loses.
So here's the question that came out last night. Baltimore's already clinched, right?
Number 1 seed.
Do you play Lamar?
No. He's being rested. It
announced.
Is, the coach said he's going to be rested.
Lamar's not playing. Odell Beckham's not playing. There are many players that are not playing in that game for Baltimore. They're sitting.
Tyler Huntley starting.
Yeah, Tyler Huntley starting. So
what do you think about that, Byron? And that's with a bye. That means they're going to be 2 weeks without playing.
We'll see how that works out, for them. But
what are your thoughts, though?
I would play him at least a half, of the game, so they can still have, just something, not where
momentum.
All of a sudden they're not playing, for 2 weeks, and then try to start it up again. So no, I play at least half the game, and then
or a quarter,
depending what. Yeah, even a quarter. Even
or
shorter,
one series.
Nah, you can play a little bit more than that. At least a quarter or two, and then pull them. But no,
look,
them not
they're
playing
so good. You don't know if they play that one. Imagine this is to me what I would have thought would be Nirvana. They just blew up 2 good teams. Why would you stop them now? Right. So I would say, hey, play 1 series, maybe a little bit longer. But let's say they come in, they play 1 series, go all the way down and drive and score. Walk off. They're floating on. They're walking on water right at that point.
They'll pull an RG3.
I think it's that's they kept saying they pull an RG3. He's not RG3. Lamar is not an RG3. I just think that that's their choice. They're the number 1 team. That's what they want to do. It's fine. But it backfired on them. This young lady last night, Naja, shout out to Naja. She made a point. She goes, she's nervous about that because when they won the AFC last time, they did that and they blew it. They blew it in the playoffs. Right, Joey?
It happens all the time. Do you remember all those Peyton Manning Colts teams that they would win like 14, 15 games. They would have it easy. For lock up the number 1 seed. And then they rest their starters, they take it easy, and then they get to the playoffs and they lose in the playoffs. You gotta go hard all the time. This isn't the time to relax. Yes, it would be nice to get some rest, but you lose your rhythm. You're a team. You lose your team chemistry that way. Bad idea for the Ravens.
I think it's bad too. I just think that they've done so well. Don't wait. That's 2 weeks of timing, and now you got a new running back.
Right.
You know, and get
Yeah,
him
Dalvin
in,
Cook.
get him in the mix. How's he gonna play with him? I wanted to bring that up.
He's playing this Saturday, Byron.
You know, so now that gives
he's definitely
Pittsburgh. Yeah, he's gonna get some runs. Well, he's got no choice. They're good with that. Well, so that gives Pittsburgh an opportunity to now get into the playoffs, right? Because I'm sure the Ravens don't want to lose, but they just don't want to get anybody hurt.
Would that be a layup for the Steelers now this weekend?
Nah, I don't
Well,
think
it should. It should. I'd much rather play
I don't know
against
if about it's a
Tyler
layup.
Huntley than Lamar Jackson. That's for darn sure.
Yeah,
I'll take
yeah,
Huntley every day, by the way.
yeah, but
over
remember,
Lamar.
you're also playing. You're playing against. Yeah, but Lamar Huntley's their second string quarterback against Pittsburgh's fourth string quarterback.
Okay, that's a point.
Well,
that's a good point.
right, so-
but
so,
it's a first string quarterback.
But Mason
playing
used
well.
to be a star quarterback.
Don't act like you have your starting quarterback coming in. You know what I mean? It's like you got a problem. You still got a problem. Like, it's not that easy. There's no layups in division games.
But
That's
where
what scares
Pittsburgh
me.
wins and Buffalo wins, like who goes?
Buffalo. Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Look, Buffalo. This is where now let's get to that game. So, congratulations with Pittsburgh. I'm very happy with Tomlin. I said it. Remember, it was down to 3 games. And we're like, I don't know if he's going to go. I think Byron, you said, I don't know if he's going to win 2 of those 3. He's won 2 of them. So now he's guaranteed to have a winning season. Very proud of him, right? And he was already on the hot seat. But I still think that there is a point, we mentioned this before, that, that's great that you have winning seasons, but Pittsburgh is an organization that wants to win Super Bowls. There's a point where, thank you for the AFC championship or the championships, but I want to be in the Super Bowl. Let's go to the Buffalo. Shoot, where we were there. We're going to the Buffalo
Bills at
Miami game. Bills
Yeah.
at Miami. Okay. The Bills are now being the Bills. They're playing good football, right?
They're
Josh
picking at the right
Allen
time.
Is dangerous. Miami is really hurt at the worst time of the season. And the guy that we were the most concerned about all year, that we always had air quotes, was who? Tua.
Tua Tagovailoa.
He's playing 17 games.
He's healthy, Byron.
He's
Yeah,
the fragile. He's not fragile this year.
He's not fragile this year.
You got the tag. Take it off him.
No one's
Fragility.
talking about it.
And nobody's. Yeah, I mean, look what happens when he plays healthy. He's got a chance to win the championship. Unfortunately, it goes back to poor Dolphins. That look at how many people he's got. Mostert was a beast, right? Tyreek Hill's house just got on
Got
fire.
on fire. That might affect the game this weekend.
That may affect his mentality. Devontae Smith isn't playing well. They got a what's his name? One of the guys who got hurt. Rich
Hand.
Waddle's hurt. Waddle's hurt.
He won't be playing this weekend. Waddle's
Waddle's
sitting
hurt,
out.
yeah, but he's hurt. They got 2 defensive players that are hurt. I mean, they got problems.
They're not
Chubbs.
hurt. They're done.
Chubbs.
Season. Both of them.
They're out. They're out. So
They're out. ACL tear.
So the thing
2
is,
pass rushers are out.
Dolphins will make the playoffs one way or the other, but can lose the AFC Championship, and that hurt them by losing to the Titans. If Buffalo
AFC
wins,
East.
they're in. It's that
Yeah.
simple.
Yes.
If Buffalo wins, they're in, right? And that's where the discussion was. Well, who's the more pressure on, right? And I said the pressure's on both teams. I mean, because
Very much so.
Here's my logic, and I want you guys to. I mean, Santiago, you and I talked about this, right?
Right.
Would you agree? Look at the pressure. Let's start with the Bills. The pressure's on the Bills because they control their destiny. You win and you're in, and you win the conference championship, right? That's it. You can't worry about Pittsburgh. You can't worry about anybody else. All you have to do is win the game, right?
Division.
That's it.
You
You
win
win
the
the
division.
division. Sorry, I always
Yeah.
get the division. You win the division, and that's what you strive for first,
Yeah.
right?
AFC East. division
Pressure
champion.
is on the Dolphins because they felt like some people have made a comment they weren't. Well, the pressure's more on them because they got to win it to get in it. I don't know if it's more on them because you're hurt, and if you win it, you're playing at least 2 games home.
Yeah, but Victor, if the Bills lose, McDermott is out. I heard.
And that's the other thing. They're playing for the coach. They're playing for their championship.
That's what I
Yeah.
heard from Bills fans.
They're playing for the
He's
AFC
out.
Championship, and they're
No,
playing for the
he's
playoffs,
fine.
and they're playing good football. So I guess Byron, you played at the level. I would think that no matter what, once the pressure's on, that everybody elevates their game. If the pressure's on your coach, if the pressure's on you to win it or be in it, and then if you're hurt and you're the Dolphins, I'm saying you got the same pressure because why would you want to play away?
This is a playoff game, right, Vic?
This
Oh,
is
yeah, for that.
this is as good as a playoff game because they're gonna have to if no matter what, if Buffalo wins, they're gonna have to play Buffalo. They may have to play Buffalo again,
Oof.
and if Buffalo
In
loses,
Buffalo.
yeah, if Buffalo
In the
loses
snow.
in Buffalo, right? So look, I even
In
forgot
Miami.
about that. So Byron, your
Yeah,
thoughts on
yeah.
that? I mean, pressure's on both sides. Would you agree?
Yeah. And what is the common denominator we have with Buffalo and Pittsburgh? They both fired their offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
And they both turned to where they started running the ball a little bit more,
Mhm.
where it took a little bit of pressure off the quarterback, and you didn't have Josh Allen being Superman, every week. They got
John
rid of,
Elway on steroids.
Yeah, I saw that, man. I was like, really, man? Come on. But he is a bigger version, though. He's a big dude.
Big.
That's a big.
He's a
I would
big
hate to try to tackle that. But yeah,
He's a big dude.
they win. They win. They're in. And since I'm going to throw it at Miami Dolphin fans, that who have they beat this year?
The Cowboys.
Who have they beat?
The
okay,
Cowboys.
like I said, like I said, who have they really beaten this year besides the Cowboys?
Broncos.
Cowboys don't count.
I hate to talk them, and they bring up the Broncos when the Broncos were terrible at the beginning there.
No, it's true, and we're horrible like on the road too. By the way,
It's like,
See?
1-4, whatever. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
why
so-
you need to win to stay at home.
Yeah,
But
so
we're on
you-
hard
no,
knocks,
but Joe,
guys.
tell me- so Byron said his pressure, right? Byron, you didn't finish. Byron, pressures. Give me pressure. Why the pressure's on Buffalo, and then give me why the pressure's on Dolphins, and then Joe, you do the same, and Santiago, you do the same.
Where are they playing at? Miami or
in Miami, Hard Rock Stadium,
Okay.
8 p.m.
Woo!
Sunday night, 8:20.
The pressure,
Last game of the season.
pressure's on Buffalo because all they have to do, they win. If they win, they're in. They don't win, they'll be sat in Buffalo with a snowblower, with me. Miami,
And the coaches, no, they could still make it. They could still make it if certain things happen with Pittsburgh.
If Baltimore beats Pittsburgh,
Yes,
Yeah, there's things that has to happen,
Yeah,
but their destinies in their hands. And remember, their coach is
they're
on the line.
yeah, McDermott, Sean
they
McDermott.
might fire him anyway. But
Yeah,
yeah,
but
so-
technically, the coach is on the line. Players like playing for their coaches too.
He wants to have a
how do we
lifeline.
know
So
he
now
likes
go ahead.
football?
Yeah, so go ahead with Dolphins. Why is the pressure on the Dolphins?
And the Dolphins, because this is supposed to be the big turnaround, as far as them, being there. Tua, made it through the whole season, without being injured. His guys, whatever. But now, since both of them are probably, neither one of them are probably playing. I think the running back, Chain, what's his name? Chain, ACH.
Chan.
Chan.
Yeah, Chan.
French.
And I think he's hurt. I think he's hurt too. And we'll see. I don't think they're going to do it. I think the Buffalo Bills might come and shock the world and beat them.
But
I'm
the
gonna-
Blowout or by
But-
like one score touchdown?
Well, hold on. But the pressure, I would also say,
It's going to be a
was-
rout.
I think the piece that I was only saying, but no, I'll let Joey go. The pressure for me was that
Stop, Vic,
because they're
stop.
hurt, they need home field advantage.
Yeah, they
Like,
can't win.
that's the pressure.
Cool.
Like in other words,
Miami can't win.
comments
the
have been
road.
made. They're in it no matter what. But you're hurt. So if you're hurt, I'd rather be playing more games at home than away.
Warm weather.
And like Joey said, so
Yeah,
okay,
but they
Joey,
got-
give me
They got all these injuries, though. So that's going to be a big factor. Big.
They got no pass
two
rushers, Byron.
Not playing.
no. But I'm saying to
They
you,
have none.
the
None.
reason why the pressure's on you to win is so you could stay playing at home. Go ahead, Joey.
It is a big game for the Dolphins, but they made the playoffs. If they lose, they'll still be in the playoffs. The Bills, there's a good chance they won't be in the playoffs if they lose this game. And you got to consider that the expectations of the Bills this year were Super Bowl or bust. How do you go from we might win the Super Bowl to we might not even make the playoffs? Yeah, Sean McDermott, they say Sean McDermott's job is safe. No way. If you completely miss the playoffs, they should fire him the next day. So it's a big game for the Dolphins. It's
Or
an
that
enormous game for the Bills.
Yes.
Yeah, Vic, it's a bigger game for the Bills. You know this.
I think it's no. I think it's a bigger game for the Bills, no doubt. But I feel that that both team have pressure. Just getting into the playoffs, like I asked, if you have the choice to be playing at home in the playoffs or going away, what would you rather have?
I'd rather be in Miami.
Joey, where do
Wanna
you
be
want
in
to play?
Miami right
Home,
now.
Miami at 80 degrees.
right?
No,
And like
it's-
you said, if they
It's
lose,
60 now.
they
brother.
have to. They may have to be Buffalo. Where at
It's
Buffalo?
29 here.
And
right?
how
That's a
cold does it get in Buffalo, Joe?
Right now, Buffalo is probably under 10 feet of snow.
It's like
it's always
3
cold there.
degrees there.
Where's
that
that
new
new stadium?
Anyhow, I think the pressure's on both teams. I just think Buffalo's. I don't want to say anything. I think Buffalo's going to pull it out. I think Miami's just too injured to be able to sustain
Yeah.
Buffalo. Unless, to me, the keys to victory against Buffalo is don't let Allen run on you. If Allen starts running on you, you got a
over.
problem, right? Number one. Number two, get a lead early so Josh Allen becomes the gunslinger he likes to be and tries to take, because he makes mistakes. Right? He throws some bad balls in some places.
And he's
But if he
0-8
gets-
in overtime.
Huh?
He's 0-8 in overtime.
Yeah, well, don't.
I heard
don't-
he's John Elway on steroids.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to make. I don't think it'll be an overtime game. So I just think that those are the keys for the Dolphins to win. They have to do that, but I think they're going to have a tough time against Buffalo Bills. What do you think, Joey? Who do you have in this game?
You
And
gotta
score.
go Bills. Gotta go Bills because they're absolutely desperate. And another thing is, I don't think it's going to be that much of a home field advantage for the Dolphins because I think there's going to be a lot of Bills fans in that stadium. So
A lot
there
has
won't be-
changed, Joe. A lot has changed this season, by the way.
okay,
There's more
we'll see.
homers now.
No,
Okay.
no. There's last time the Bills were here playing. I mean, there's Bills all over here, man. Let me tell you.
Remember, when
Even-
Miami teams wins, the fans come out more.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. The other people buy more tickets.
$3,000
louder.
tickets.
Yeah, it's expensive.
How
Bill,
much?
Who do you have? Who do you have? 2,000 to 3,000.
3,000. Big
This is a big
Ellie
game.
selling it for 3,000.
Wow.
3,000. 3 zeros.
Who do you have, Santiago?
Wow.
I am a Miami fan, of course. I'm gonna pick the Bills, man. They got more pressure. I think the coach situation. When I heard stories this week from fans, if they lose, McDermott's out. So there's a lot more pressure. Allen is looking fantastic, like we talked about before. The Bills are peaking at the right moment. The Dolphins are hurt, just like what you guys have said. They have no pass rushers, no wide receivers. They have to depend on this one guy, CJ, whatever his name is.
And Tyreek's questionable.
Yeah, his house got burned down.
No, they
My
put him
goodness.
as questionable before his house, and now he's questionable on his. He's going to play, I think, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
His
And
house
he has
is
what
doubtful.
400 yards left to catch that record.
Yeah,
Was it
yeah,
400?
he's not going to get it. Yeah,
He's not gonna
got
do it,
five.
right, Byron? This
He's
game.
got
He
300.
might.
He needs 300. He needs 300 and something yards.
Nah,
He
they
might.
had to. Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Anything's possible.
If he gets 300 something yards, Joey, they're winning the game.
Yes, they are.
That's like Lamar
I
running. for 100
never
yards.
say that. Yeah.
But what's your score line, Victor? What's your score line? It would will be by one touchdown or two.
Nah, I think they're going to win by at least 10 points or more.
Joe.
I'm saying Bills blowout.
Wow, like by halftime blowout.
No.
Maybe.
How about you, Mr. Byron?
Blowout. Buffalo Bills.
Oh my God! Well, I'm never going to be a guest on those shows again.
Wow.
WCFL. Oh, they're being objective. We're objective, Vic.
They are, but Papa Paul is. The rest of them, they got some good points. Don't get me wrong, but they're hurt at the worst time of the season. Like
I
this
would
is
have
not a good
bet on
time
the
to be hurt.
Ravens.
This is a birth. Yeah, man, it's a bad time. All right, Eric is funny. He normally comes on late, and we stay on late for him. I miss him, and he goes, "I gotta go." No, he doesn't wait for us, and we stayed longer. Sorry, Eric.
And he had a lot to say, by the way. He said,
I'm sure. He usually does. Byron, what do you think about Philly right now? Because I got my opinions on Philly.
They're playing the Giants
you know,
this weekend, by the way.
yeah.
They
I had
lost
to deal
against
with
Cardinals.
the seniors. Yeah, I had to deal with the seniors again. You know, when I walk in there, and first thing, but this time they didn't say anything to me because I had my Giant stuff on, and I walked in there proud. I was
His
like, "That's
giant
what I'm
slippers.
talking about, man." I thought about, I saw they were pretty nice. I was thinking that size 15, but I was like, you know what, you guys stink. You guys are terrible. Everybody they're mad at the head coach. They're like, blame everything on him. They demoted the defensive coordinator. Their secondary stinks. Their linebacker stinks. They were talking about Jordan Davis, how fat and overweight and lazy that he is. That he doesn't run. He doesn't. He's not a factor in the run game anymore. He's not a factor, rush the passer. And pretty much they were just blasting the whole team. And how Jalen Hurts has kind of regressed, but I don't think it is. You got AJ Brown had to go in front of the media, yesterday, basically saying that everything is all good when it's not. He's been angry, since they stopped going to him early. Yeah, they were complaining about Devontae Smith, the smallest guy on the team, blocking somebody, so he's hurt. He might not play. So pretty much, there's a lot of turmoil going on. They were even calling to fire this guy. That's how bad it's gotten around here, where they want to fire him.
Yeah.
Joey,
Coach of the Eagles, Sirianni.
what's your take on the Eagles?
Every team deals with adversity. Every team has a low point where they lose some games and stuff like this happens where the players are mad. The Steelers went through it. The 49ers went through it. They had a 3-game losing streak. Every team goes through this. And the mark of a team, not to sound like Rocky, but it's not how many times you get hit. It's how many times you get back up after you get hit. So let's see what the Eagles have in them. They are down right now. Let's see if they could pull it together. They could either pull it together or they could crumble or they could fall apart. So we'll see. Right now, it looks like they're falling apart, but I have a feeling they're going to bring it together and they're going to pull up and maybe they'll peak at the right time. I don't know. But
Eric would love to hear that from you.
They still have a lot to play for. They're playing for the number
Eric
2
would
seed.
state
If they
that.
win and the Cowboys lose, they get the number 2 seed. So they have a lot to play for this week.
The Cowboys are playing the Commanders.
Yeah, the Cowboys. I mean, come on, man. The Cowboys are playing the Commanders, bro.
In Washington,
I don't feel good.
no hot showers.
I mean, so Dallas they gotta give me against Detroit. That's the team they needed to lose, right? And they gotta give me. And now they're playing the Commanders. What's your take on the Phillies, Santiago?
Yeah, just like what Joe said, I think they're dipping at the wrong time. I wish the best time was when the Niners dipped. Those 3 games, they were the worst team.
Yeah, but they didn't have Debo, they didn't have Andrew Smith, and they didn't have McCaffrey.
And
3 major players.
yeah, and the problem with the Eagles, wasn't Hurts I was hearing that he his knee is doing okay lately,
He's
or
better now.
It's all
so. This Giants game is a gift. It could be a layup. This is a good time to rebound, have some confidence coming in after beating the Giants. They're going to beat the Giants.
Well, the Giants almost beat them.
And oh yeah, up in home over there in
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
that's
was a
what
one-score game. They only won by 6.
Yeah.
Now, remember, I was even texting. Do you want them to win? I didn't want the Giants to win. I don't want Dallas to get home field advantage.
and the Giants have no pressure this time. They could spoil it.
Yeah, we don't know. Well, here's my take on the Eagles. I've said this all year. This is what gets me frustrated with some Eagle fans. Okay,
Anyone in particular?
no, just all over. Right? Is they have not been playing well all year. I don't. You are what your record says you are. No,
Bill
they
Parcells.
haven't been playing well all year. They're just playing, and to the boot, they haven't been playing well all year. I said this every show. Now they're playing worse than they were playing in the beginning of the year.
They're supposed to be playing better in December.
They're supposed to be getting better. I'm waiting, and they got the talent. But Byron, look at that team that had 71 sacks last year. That's not the same defense.
They got 38 right now.
Okay, they got half. They got no pass rush, and their defensive line is pretty decent. Their secondary is getting torched all the time. This is all season, right? Byron, and you called this like 6 weeks ago. right? So this is not like I'm just pulling this out of the hat because they just lost. I'm telling you, they have not been playing well. They have not played well 16 games, in my opinion. Okay,
Wow.
and they got the talent. It's not that they don't have the talent, and I don't think it's Jalen Hurts' fault. I think he's got some turnovers. That fumble late in Dallas kind of hurt him. I think that's a little bit of a problem. But I
Also
don't think,
switching defensive coordinators in the
I just think
Thank
it
you.
went too much
Thank you.
AJ Brown in the beginning. They're not running the ball. Byron mentions they got this huge back. They don't give him the ball. They haven't been playing well, and now it's paying off that they haven't been playing well. They're regressing. They're not improving.
How in the world did Matt Patricia get to the Eagles?
So hold on. Let me just finish.
How does he have a job?
So for me, this was I predicted this. You got a problem. Their penalties that they have are bad. Kelsey, great player, had bad penalties.
His brother.
The center, right?
Jason.
So Jason Kelsey to have penalties, there's just something's wrong there. And
Super Bowl hangover is a thing.
Byron, you asked about it. What's going on? Is it internally? Something is going on there. They're just playing bad. I don't trust in Philly. I obviously I don't trust in Dallas, but I don't trust in Philly. I just think they're playing bad ball, and I don't think they don't look like a team. There's too many. I've been on too many shows already where, in my opinion, too many cliches are going around. Oh, you're 0-0 in the playoffs, right? Look at the Giants when they were 9-7. People forget when the Giants were 9-7, they were winning out the last 3 to 4 games going into the playoffs. They were peaking going into the playoffs. They played
the Patriots twice.
They were terrible in the beginning of the series, and then they started peaking towards the end of the season. Is that correct, Byron?
Yep.
And then they walked right through Green Bay, walked right through. They went through the hardest part they could possibly go. Playing Green Bay in Lambeau and winning is not easy. Playing undefeated Patriots team is not easy. So you got to go into the playoffs playing good football. I don't agree with the Ravens resting their team, but man, they're playing great football.
Is there a right to rest
the playoffs? Right. So that's my concern with Philadelphia. I don't just the NFC. To me, the NFC right now, other than the team that's scary for me in the NFC is the Rams. If not, it's definitely the 49ers are the ones that are going to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl.
Who's your favorite, Joe, for the NFC?
Oh yeah, 49ers. This is easily 49ers if they could stay healthy. I've gone back and forth on Brock Purdy, but he's not the terrible system quarterback that I thought. He's actually pretty good.
Made the Pro Bowl.
Oh, whoa.
He should have. He put up the numbers, Byron.
Yeah.
He gets to play volleyball.
The Pro Bowl games.
Byron, who do you think's going to take the NFC East? The NFC.
49ers.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And your dark horse is the Rams.
And who do you think is the biggest threat in the NFC besides the 49ers?
Lions.
No, I think the Rams.
No, come on.
The Rams.
I'm going to say the Rams because they've been there before with McVay. And it's going to be something new for Dan Campbell, with Detroit. Matter of fact, new for all of them except for Goff, who did play, in a Super Bowl. But it might be McVay, the things that he does with the Rams.
And Stafford's put up some amazing numbers these last 5 games, man.
And they're resting him this weekend. Carson Wentz is starting.
You know what I think, Lions, because of that first thing we talked about at the beginning of the show, the refs screwed them. They're going to use that as motivation. They're going to say the whole world is against us. The refs are against us. The league is against us. Let's go out there and win a championship.
Dan Campbell cries.
For the Wilson family, I would like to see that happen. Okay. I just think things happen to teams like Detroit like that. It's just sad. But
hey, Joe, who do you trust, the Chiefs or the Eagles?
Chiefs are, oh my goodness, the Chiefs are basically the Eagles of the AFC.
Right.
They're a mess.
Yeah.
No, but
they almost lost against the Bengals.
No, wait a second. I would agree with you, except for they have played some sparks of good games. You know what I mean? It's like the Eagles have just won. They didn't really you know what I mean?
Okay, the Eagles are a mess. The Eagles are a total mess. The Chiefs are a mess, not basically because they have no wide receivers.
Yeah, but
If they
defensively,
had some
they're a
wide
top
receivers,
defensive team.
if they are good, they are a better defensive team. But if they had if Kadarius Toney was off the face of the earth, the Chiefs would be in the number 1 seed right now.
Wow.
If they only had any good
Like
wide receivers,
Saints.
any just wide receivers that could catch the ball, they would be okay. That's the Chiefs' problem. They don't have the players. The Eagles are just a total team mess.
The Chiefs to me can't. Okay. Let's go into the AFC. AFC, I see Baltimore taking it. Right.
Unstoppable.
I don't see. There's no reason that they shouldn't make it to the Super Bowl. Once you get to the Super Bowl, go there. But I think in the AFC, the Chiefs are always dangerous because they have a good defense, right? Their
And they've been
defense
there.
is playing well, and at any moment, they're a few catches away from being a really good team, right? Now it's just a matter of will these guys catch the ball, right? And that's the only thing. So it's sad to see. It's indicative. I haven't seen Patrick Mahomes play bad. I think if there's a team that can turn it around in the playoffs, it would be Kansas City. But I still think the best team in the AFC is Baltimore. Byron?
Yeah, Baltimore, probably is the best team, but with the Chiefs, I can see if it was like one guy was really bad, the receivers. It's all of them. Kelsey's having his issues, even though you said he's going to hit 1,000 yards, whatever. But he's usually
number
at 12
2.
and 13.
He
But
got
he's still-
something else on his mind.
He's usually
I
at
wonder
12
what
and
that is.
1,300. Yeah, I wonder
sorry,
who. I'm not going
Byron?
to bring that up again. He's usually at 12 and 1,300. Yeah, I know. 12 and 1,300, for the year. He's going to barely make 1,000, which is, that's, for other people, that's
That's
a great
weird.
season. Him, that's just,
17
yeah,
He's
games.
behind
But-
Kittle then.
yeah, but
What's up
all
with
of these
Eric
guys-
Benemy factor? Is that an Eric Benemy factor?
Hold on a second. Let him finish,
No.
Santiago. Go ahead.
Yeah, but all the receivers are bad. They do have a top 5, defense, and we talked about it before. The Eric Bieniemy factor. He was the bad cop, and Andy Reid was the good cop. Bieniemy was the one that would get in there. You know what? When they would drop on the ball, he probably had a lot to say as far as getting rid of these guys, or say, you know what, you ain't catching the ball, you're out. I'm sure he said it a nice old school kind of way, that got the point across. And then Andy Reid would come over there. Oh, well, all right, let's work on this. Being like the grandfather got a guy. So
Good
yes,
cop, bad cop.
Eric. Yep, the Eric Bieniemy factor did play a major part in as far as these guys, because they wouldn't be dropping the ball like that if he was there. No.
So can you say that again? It's the Eric Bieniemy factor.
Eric Bieniemy factor. Yes, I'm going to say it again.
Thank you.
Future head
Because
coach of
Byron texted me that instead. I'm like, he doesn't put it in the messenger. He doesn't put it anywhere else. I'm like, that dog. He's just trying to hide it around everywhere. He goes, you think you were right. dude.
Slide it in.
He just trying to slide it in. So for him to say it on this Jersey Boys Sports Talk, I'm proud of you. Because finally, because I said it, think about it. He went to Washington. Those receivers all complained about him. They said he was too hard.
He's
He's this and that. He's a mean dude. He's this and that. And all the Kansas City team, they went to his defense. Patrick Mahomes went to his defense. Kelsey went to his defense. The receivers went to his defense. Tyreek Hill went to his defense.
He yelled at us. He's a meanie. I don't like him.
And look what's happening. The
No, yeah.
receivers are.
No.
Do you agree? Would you agree that the receivers for Kansas City have cost them this season?
Yes,
Yes.
Offside.
definitely.
The receivers, purely the receivers.
Yes.
Yes.
And
We
that's
got a comment from
Patrick Mahomes
Stefan
plays bad.
Petrosino.
Hmm?
We got a comment from Stefan Petrosino. What's up, guys? Happy New Year.
Hey, Steven.
Happy New Year.
Hey, Petro.
Happy New Year, Steven.
Petro.
That's one of our boys from.
Thanks, Steven.
He was my cornerback. He was when we played. Happy New Year, Steven, you and your wife. What was I going to tell you? Yeah, I mean, Bieniemy factor. And look, I hope Bieniemy gets a shot at a head coach. I think he deserves it. I mean,
You
no
think
matter how bad
Ron Rivera's getting fired?
he's got
Yeah, I
it.
think he's
though.
out.
And as much as I don't, I like
Yeah.
Ron Rivera. He's Hispanic. you got to make you got a new, you're a brand new owner, you got to make a change. You just do that. They're bad. They were bad with old ownership, they're bad with new ownership. They haven't improved. He's done as best as he could. It's just wasn't a good organization for him. You know what I mean? He's done a good job. Didn't he take the Panthers to the championship?
Yeah, with Cam
Wasn't it
Newton.
him? So with Cam Newton, I
Cam.
mean, so he's
Riverboat
a
Ron.
he's a good piece. So I think those two teams those are the big games that we're going to see. Pittsburgh's good. I'm happy for Tomlin. Where do you see Russell Wilson playing next year? What team? Byron.
The New York Football Giants.
Big
Why not?
possibility. Yeah.
Why not?
Wait, time out. Stop for a second. Wait, please repeat that. I'm stuttering. Time out. Say that again, Byron. Where do you see Russell Wilson?
Did I get my reason why?
Oh, you can say whatever you want. I just want to hear where he's going again.
Russell Wilson's going to New York.
Okay, go ahead. Tell me why.
And the reason why is they finally got tired of my guy. They're going to draft the quarterback and bring in, Russell, to hold down the fort until the other guy is ready. Because Daniel's not going to be ready to play until about November or whatever with his knee. He's not going to be back. And I guess they realized they made a mistake, give him all that money, even though it's not his fault. But I think they might be moving along, and the perfect, not a perfect fit, but a good fit would be Russell Wilson to go to New York Giants. I said it.
Be that bridge quarterback.
Yes. I wouldn't mind. I'm in awe. I mean, again, Joe. I'm still in awe. Joey, again, Joey. Where do you see? I can't. You got me speechless. That's impressive. Go ahead.
I mean, do you like it, Victor? Do you like his?
I'm gonna
his
respond.
opinion.
I want to give Joey a chance.
Okay.
I think Atlanta Falcons. They need a quarterback.
Wow. I like
Or
that.
I've heard that.
Maybe the Vikings.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins is coming back. Kirk Cousins is a baller.
Yeah, pretty probably.
I don't see them giving up on Kirk Cousins. If anything, Kirk Cousins wants to leave the Vikings. Right?
Isn't he up for contract?
I'd
this
take
summer?
Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
I personally didn't like Kirk Cousins in the beginning. Now I take him over Russell, but that's a
You saw him
different story.
the other night, like he was topless with his son.
Yeah. He was
Yeah,
ripped.
that's pretty cool.
That was weird.
He was pretty ripped.
He apologized afterwards.
Where else? He apologized, but everybody liked it.
I'm
Like they
sorry,
were
I
doing
went topless. Like, what?
Well, because he's good. He's a gentleman, So Joey, where'd you say Atlanta? I think the Atlanta's a good pick because Atlanta was weird with their quarterbacks, man. I lost games, I won games with them. Anywhere else?
Washington, maybe.
Yeah, that's a
Okay.
big hole to fill.
Of the three teams we mentioned, Washington would be the least team I'd want to go to. Santiago?
He says he wants to stay with the Broncos, so I think that's probably going to happen.
No.
Unless the
They don't
coach
want
Sean Payton does not want him.
He
At
doesn't, dude.
It's an
Byron said
ugly
it.
divorce.
Byron just said it. They're doing this for the money. He's going to lose money, right? Is that correct, Byron?
$37 million.
I think, well, yeah,
He's-
37 million. Yeah.
If he
He's gonna
gets
lose
injured,
$37 million, and he's saying
Injured.
he wants to
Because
stay
he
with the
gets
team.
injured.
if he gets
If he gets
injured
injured.
in these last two games,
Well, he's not playing.
then
They
he'll get
benched
$37
him.
million. Yeah,
They
that's why
benched
they don't want to get injured. Yeah,
They benched them. They just benched him for the last two games.
for
Yeah,
Jared
Victor, I
Stidham.
want to throw out another one.
Okay.
Might as well. I'm on a roll today.
Drum roll.
Daniel Jones to the Atlanta Falcons would fit in perfectly.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
I can see that.
That would actually work very well.
That would,
Isn't
I
his
think
contract
been-
pretty big?
Yeah.
Yeah, where
Well,
he can get rid of him after
it's
next year.
90. It's not like 200 something million, but it's 90 million.
No,
It's not the Sean Watson contract.
It's not
No, it's
anybody's
not. But
contract. It's still 90
they can
million.
get rid of him. They can get rid of him after next year, 2024, because of the way the whole thing was set up. But he can be out. But with him, with that running back, Dejon Robinson, a good receiver and a
Very
tight
good guy.
end, and the things they could do. And he is from North Carolina, and maybe that might be a good fit. If they decide to move on, Atlanta Falcons.
I think he would do well there. I don't wish anything bad
right.
against Daniel. I think he'd do well there, but I would like to. I think this would be the first time that we got like a premier quarterback coming from another team.
Russell Wilson is a premier quarterback.
I mean, for what he was, for what
Not
he started,
anymore.
I mean, maybe not as where he used to be, but he still showed he could play. I just
Come on, we have
don't think he was his
we had
guy.
Fran
Sean
Tarkenton
Payton's
back in
guy.
the day.
Oh yeah,
We had Fran Tarkenton back in the day. Yeah, don't forget that.
Yeah, but,
Come on, we had
but
a
you
premier
forget it
quarterback.
because you don't tie him to the Giants. You tie him to Minnesota, right? That's where we went to 4
Yeah.
Super Bowls with Minnesota.
Yeah, lost all of them.
Yeah, lost all of them. But so did Jim Kelly. But
Yeah,
I think I can't imagine. Russell Wilson, I think, is saying that just because his pride and he's just being stand up and when you have $200-something million, he could kind of say that.
That's
Right?
a big
Right?
contract he has, right,
I
Byron?
mean, he's got a massive contract, so he
Oh,
could
yeah.
say he could say the right things without worrying about money, right?
He's 34
Um,
years old, but he did have
but
a good
I-
streak with the Broncos.
But I'd want to get out of there after getting chastised in front of public television by the coach, then being
for
benched
no
for the
reason.
last two, and then being benched for the last 2 reasons, and then being the kind of the butt of some of the jokes of him having this private office and having all that stuff. I mean, why would you want to stay there, dude? You're gonna get your money. It's ridiculous, and like Byron has said, and many of us have said, when you go to if he goes to New York and happens just to turn around a good season, he can write his ticket. You understand? Because you're in New York. Strahan has said that. Strahan has blatantly said that all the opportunities I have today in my life is because I was a New York Giant, and
We
I
got
won.
plenty of
And now he's in 3 shows.
And he's done everything. He's got his own
He's on
clothing
everything.
line. He's got his own clothing line. He's got everything. And he said it. When you're in New York and you win, you have way more opportunities than other markets.
Ring of Honor candidate.
Who's Strahan?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's already up there.
He's already there, dude. He's I think
He's
he's
beyond
yeah, he's a stud, So we got that happening. What do we got coming up? Okay, so let's go. What do we have coming up? And
For the
but
games.
I'm just not happy with I don't want Dallas. Unfortunately, it looks like they may have
Now, another team that's dipping at the wrong moment is the Jaguars, right, Joe?
Oh, yeah,
Byron. Yeah,
it's-
Byron.
Yeah,
Yeah, Joey, talk about that. What happened there?
Trevor Lawrence got hurt. I think that's the big thing. They have a lot of injuries. I
But
think,
even before that,
No, even when he was playing, man, I
He-
picked them. They were
were dipping a
losing
bit.
games. They weren't.
yeah,
I mean,
Well,
I
what-
don't
the
know
running
what's
back's
going- I
playing
don't know
good.
what's going
That's
on
it.
with them at ATN. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. But I hope they keep dipping because if they lose, the Steelers are in. So
Yeah, they
keep
play
dipping Jacksonville.
Tennessee Titans this
kick
weekend
Tennessee's going to win that.
with Will Levis.
ETN, isn't that his
Sure.
name? ETN?
Yeah,
Running
Etienne,
back?
running
Uh-huh.
back. Great running back.
Yeah, his brother transferred to Georgia, I think.
Right. He's good too.
What? Oh,
Yeah.
And we gotta pick the national championship game between Washington versus Michigan.
Hold on, I just want to go through to see what is it. Okay, so look, we're gonna see how real the Rams are. They could still lose to the 49ers, but they got to play a good game. Then that'll tell me that they're going to be dangerous because they
Yeah,
play
but
the
they
49ers.
Stafford
that?
playing.
What's that?
Stafford's not playing.
He's not playing.
Oh, that's true. Stafford's not playing.
Carson
And then-
Wentz.
Carson
playing.
is player.
Oh, forget it. The 49ers are winning.
That was quick.
That
That was
49ers are winning that game.
They don't need to
okay.
either.
Yeah, the
Listen.
Rams are in the playoffs. They don't care.
Yeah, I don't think it makes much of a change if they win.
49ers are in the
maybe.
playoffs too.
None
And they
at
Yeah,
got
they don't. There's
they
not much.
clinched
It's like a meaningless game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very. They can't change.
Yeah, but
anything.
I think I don't know about you though. I mean, Byron, what are your thoughts? If I was the 49ers after getting whooped, I would want to get my offense back out there to get some activity going on and then put them back down and sit.
Well,
Momentum.
guess what? A whole bunch of them ain't playing either. Purdy, McCaffrey,
Already?
Ayuk, already. Samuel, none of them are playing. Not a one of them. Both
Imagine-
Who's the quarterback?
Purdy.
You said
He
he's not
playing.
playing. Who's gonna be playing?
Let me look that up. I
Sam
don't know
Darnold.
yet. Yeah, Sam Darnold,
Oh yeah, Sam Darnold,
former
yeah.
Jets.
Sam Darnold's not bad. That's your guy. That's your rookie
He's
of the year,
good.
right?
He's my guy. Yeah, he was.
That was your rookie of
In
the
my
year.
mind. Yeah, in my mind it was. Yeah. Are we gonna break
He's
that up?
pretty-
Okay.
But my point being is, you may have some redemption because the 49ers is a good team. Shanahan is a good coach. He may play well. I mean, think about it. He's getting paid a lot more than Purdy.
Yeah, a whole lot more. Yeah.
He's getting paid a whole lot more than Purdy.
Well, Darnold needs to do well because for his resume. I mean, he's really done nothing all year, and he didn't do much last year either. So he needs to show something this week.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, all right. Well, this is going to be. So, I think the biggest game we have is going. Well, there's a couple big games.
Is
right?
Miami
Would
and
you agree?
Buffalo's the big game?
Miami and
Period.
Buffalo is probably the biggest game, right? I think the Pittsburgh is a big game.
Kind of,
It's
sort of.
before, for Pittsburgh because they need to win to get in.
Yeah,
right?
Baltimore.
Big for Pittsburgh, yeah.
Baltimore's checked out.
Yeah, it's big, but still, it's a division team. And look, I'm still of the feeling that when you're a good team, you got pretty decent depth. You know what I mean? It's not like it's a gimme just because your guys are out, right?
And,
so
and
you know,
yeah, it's a division game. It's a rivalry game. They hate
right,
each
yeah,
other.
they don't
and
like
nothing
each
would-
other.
Nothing
It's
would
never
make the
easy.
Ravens happier than to eliminate the Steelers.
Joe, give us a grade of the Steelers: A, B, C, D, or F for the season.
B minus. If they end up 10-7, that's where everybody expected them to go. It's just how they got there is just so frustrating. It's a very frustrating year. And you know, when you fire your offensive coordinator, that's never good. And they don't know whether their franchise quarterback is any good. So those are big question marks. So maybe even lower than B minus, maybe a C or something like that. It's and if they may not even
C
make
plus.
the playoffs. They had pretty good expectations this year, and they might not even make the playoffs. So, yeah, not good.
Guys, check this out, right? If the Bills win, they're 11-6. The Dolphins are 11-6. As bad as the Chiefs we've been talking about, the Chiefs win. I think they're playing the Chargers. They should win that one, right? It's 11 and they're 11-6. So we're talking how bad they are, and they're still 11-6, right?
They're
Then you
still bad,
have
though.
the Ravens will be 14. If they win, they'll be 14-3, or they'll be 13-4. Okay. The AFC South is just terrible. I mean, it's 9-7. They have
The
three
Souths are
teams.
better overall.
The three teams that in the division are 9-7.
Well, NFC.
This is AFC.
South is close. It's way closer. Tampa
No,
Bay and New Orleans are going for that first spot,
I'm
right,
going, I'm
Joe?
going to that next, but I'm just saying to you, it's just as bad as we're thinking about the Chiefs. They're going to be, other than the Ravens, they're tied with everybody else. You know what I mean? Oh no, I'm in the thing. So now in the NFC, you got Dallas. It could be either 12-5, right? You could have the Eagles at 12-5. Okay. You got the 49ers could be either 12-5 or 13-4, which would be equal to the Ravens. You got the Lions are 11-5. They can be 12-5. And then the NFC South is just terrible. That's another one. It's an
a joke.
8-9 team can possibly make it.
Who you got,
Yeah.
Tampa or New Orleans going to the playoffs, Joe? I mean,
Tampa.
Vic,
I got Tampa.
Byron,
Tampa.
New Orleans.
Somebody got to be
Yeah.
different.
Which Baker's playing with injured ribs too this weekend. That's gonna hurt.
Yeah, but they're
So
playing
he's-
against Carolina.
Yeah.
That's a layup. That's a
That's a
freaking
layup.
Put Blaine Gabbert.
That is so sad. All right, guys. So that ended up working good. I really appreciate it. I thought it was good. You have any parting words? I am impressed that you actually had a different quarterback comes to the Giants, Byron.
Victor's flattered, Byron.
I'm not flattered. I'm in shock.
Victor likes Russell Wilson to the Giants.
I don't know if I like Russell Wilson. to the
You're
Giants.
flattered.
I'm just in shock that Byron finally said, it's time
He's
with
just-
Daniel Jones. The experiment
he's
is
just
over.
a cat. Yeah.
The experiment is over.
It's the
and,
offensive line's fault.
it is.
It
No,
is.
time out. timeout. There's no confusion there. It's the offensive line's fault. I mean, DeVito got sacked 7 times in his last game that he played. He got sacked
it's not
on
close,
average 5 times per game.
They're up to
I mean,
83 for the season.
and what's the record?
100.
Oh, so they're not going to break the record.
Well, you never know. So
Unless they have somebody has a water boy season, a game against them. Any comments, Joey? Joey, really appreciate. Joey, tell us about your show.
Donut Bag. It is Mondays at 7, mostly talking Steelers, covering every little bit of that. My parting words are: the Ravens will go to the Super Bowl, and the only teams that have a chance of stopping them are the Steelers or the Browns.
Wow.
Otherwise, they're going to run through everybody else.
Do you think Cleveland could do some magic in the playoffs?
Oh, yeah. They have an elite defense. Their defense is amazing this year. And who knows how long this Joe Flacco magic thing is going to go. But the Browns might do something. The Steelers might actually go far. But the Steelers and the Browns are the only teams that know how to stop the Ravens. Everyone else, they wouldn't have a chance.
Victor does not believe in the Browns.
No.
Another Jersey guy. Give the Jersey guy some love, man. Give Flacco some love from Audubon, New Jersey.
And from the Blue Hens where Davis played.
Yeah.
He's
Delaware
University of Delaware. He was our high school coach, Glenn Davis, played for the University of Delaware. The one thing that you have a problem is everything Joey said is that because that division is so tough. It's just a dirty blue collar, I'm going to beat you up kind of conference. That's the only danger for Baltimore, because any given day, Pittsburgh or Cleveland, no matter how good Baltimore can beat them. They know them. They play them. They've already played against Lamar. In other words, they're used to practicing against that, right? If there's someone that can make a run, it would be Pittsburgh. But I just think that I think it's only so far you're going to go with Mason. You know what I mean? I think if they play them early, that's where Baltimore's danger would be. But I don't think either one of those teams are going to make it to the AFC Championship. I mean, to the AFC to represent the AFC. I do believe they have the chance to knock off the Baltimore, but I don't think they would make it to the AFC. If they knock off Baltimore, I would take Kansas City. That's me.
Wow.
Or the Dolphins are hurt. I would take the Dolphins. I'm just concerned on how bad they're banged up. You know what I mean? They're really banged up.
It's bad, right, Byron?
It's bad.
Bad.
It's bad.
We didn't bring up Michigan, Washington game.
Okay,
yeah, who you got?
I
got
like
Washington.
a team that doesn't cheat.
Ooh.
Allegedly.
Snarky comment. You sneaked it in there.
When you say allegedly, you don't get in trouble as much.
Victor's a Harbaugh fan.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Michigan.
Jimbo Harbaugh.
Washington. Penix, go deep, my man. Go deep.
R.I.P. Pac-12.
Who you got? This is the first time an ACC or an SEC team isn't playing or winning the championship. Must be in like 16
finally.
years. No, but that's a long time. That's a long time.
Yeah. The playoff committee did a good job this time.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
Georgia should have been in the playoffs.
I know
Yeah,
one thing
they
that
killed
could have been.
FSU.
Georgia would have been in the playoffs. Georgia would have ran the table.
This
on
would
all
have been
those
the
teams.
perfect year for the 12-team playoff.
Yeah, Georgia got screwed.
Florida State got screwed. My goodness, they were
And they're suing the
they got
ACC.
Yeah,
Florida State did get screwed.
FSU suing ACC, yeah.
Yeah, but but it goes to show. Look what happens when they played the team that was seated below them. I mean, they got buried.
Woo. No,
they also gave up. Half the team left.
Oh, really?
Yeah. just remember, Harbaugh is going to coach the the Commanders, like the day after the national championship game.
Yeah, he did hire a agent, NFL agent. So
Chargers.
Could be
Oof.
Chargers.
Chargers.
No.
Could be the Bears.
So what do you think is going to happen with Belichick?
Yeah, here you go.
I think he's out Monday, like Monday.
So you think
Thank you.
Belichick's
Good
out?
job
You know what?
Joey-
for your services.
What do you think? Joey?
Okay, Belichick is going to Washington, but Harbaugh is going somewhere. Belichick is either going to Washington or the Chargers, and I don't know where Harbaugh is.
I don't
going.
think Belichick would go to Washington.
Oh,
at
don't
all.
forget Carolina.
Yeah.
Harbaugh is going to Carolina because he would be
Yeah.
stupid enough to do that. And then
Bryce Young.
Belichick is going to Washington. I don't know who's going.
Okay, so let's see who's open. So wait a second, Byron, you got Washington. Joey, you got Washington. Santiago, who do you have?
For Jim Harbaugh?
No, for the championship, college championship.
Oh, I got the
I have
Huskies.
Washington.
Okay, I took Michigan.
Washington.
Let's go back to the open positions are going to be Washington. It's going to be the New England. It's going to be the Chargers is open already.
Carolina.
Carolina.
Four.
Carolina.
Okay, out of
There's gonna
those
be a-
four
There'll be a
teams,
few more.
hey, you know what? Why did
Pittsburgh?
no?
Maybe only if Tomlin decides he's done enough to
Tomlin
keep
would
his
step
job.
down. They won't get rid of him.
Only if he decides to leave.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
up to him.
It,
Kind of.
it will be now.
This
Like-
Pittsburgh
like-
style
because he righted the ship.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that about
yeah,
Pittsburgh.
and the Steelers don't do that. They don't. They don't get rid
Yeah,
of coaches.
There's the
that.
door.
Yeah.
The door's locked.
Who was saying something that they would put?
Oh,
They would trade a quarterback to Chargers. They were talking today. I'm like, what are they talking about? They got Justin Herbert. Why would they
Tennessee. Vrabel's going to leave Tennessee. Vrabel will be the
to
coach
go to
of
Patriots?
New England. Yeah, he'll go.
Yes,
Oh,
that'll
makes
go
sense.
to
That makes
He'll
sense.
go to the Patriots, and the Titans will be open. To me, the best place if Belichick was to go somewhere would be the Chargers.
Chargers.
Also,
Because
don't
he's got-
forget the
makes sense.
Raiders.
He's got a quarter. Oh yeah, the Raiders.
That's right.
too.
The Raiders. Yeah, they'll
Antonio
do
Pierce
something
could get
stupid.
hired, former Giant.
They
should.
should get hired, but they were saying that Belichick may go to the Raiders because he's got Garoppolo, which is the guy he picked,
Yeah.
right?
I don't know if Mark
Garoppolo-
Davis likes
Garoppolo
Garoppolo.
gets hurt a lot. But the deal is, I think the best position for me, the best job is the Chargers. That's open.
Yeah, Herbert, he's prime right now.
A lot
Right.
of talent.
Ready to win.
I think the Chargers are the best team as a coach to go. If I was a coach, that's where I would go out all those teams.
Ready to win. Yep.
Right. I think Washington's still got problems. They got time to be, you know what I mean?
Sam Howell's not the guy, maybe?
I don't
he's
know.
not.
I think he's put up some
He is
numbers,
not.
but
He has hard yardage.
Nah.
I just think the organization
Lot
needs
of
to be
yards.
cleaned up.
If Washington was
Can we-
smart, they would have Bieniemy be the head coach, but they're not. They're going to go. This is a new owner. He's going to do something high profile, like Harbaugh or
Josh
who else?
McDaniels.
Oh,
Well, you
God.
remember you got Magic
Whoa.
Johnson. Magic Johnson's part of that team, so he may
Yeah.
have a say. And you know what's funny? If Belichick goes to the Raiders, he'd be back with Brady.
Yeah, because
That's
Brady's
true.
part
Brady-
owner.
Brady's a minority owner.
Minority. Has that been approved?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Okay, so Belichick is not going to the
I'm
Raiders. So I
not
don't
sure
think
if
they
it's
like
been
each
approved,
other.
but they've
I
been
would have heard it by
mentioning-
now.
They've been mentioning it the whole time that if he goes there, Brady's a minority owner of the Raiders. So they've
Brady would be
stated
his
it.
boss.
And he could
You think he wants
could easily
that?
fire Belichick if he wanted to.
That's pretty funny.
He got
Oh,
rid of
he
Wayne
got
Rooney
red.
this week.
He
He
got
ain't going there. No way.
Got rid of Wayne Rooney. He's a coach in
who's not
England.
going there? Belichick.
Belichick ain't going to.
Yeah, he's smart
no
enough. He
way.
knows he can't go there.
Why?
Because
of
of Brady.
Nah,
Or
Yeah,
just
he
because of
knows.
Raiders?
Right.
I'll pass. I'll retire.
Yeah, I would think that would
Yeah,
be
I'm
kind of
good.
But
like
he needs the wins to catch up to Don Chula.
the
Yeah,
guy,
that's what he's
gonna
trying to
continue.
do.
I think he's going to continue coaching. Number one, and then
Patriot
number
way.
two. So I got two coaching stories, and we're going to wrap this up. Not two stories. One, there was I saw this little YouTube reel with Brady, and Brady was always saying that he always made an effort to be nice to the linemen. So Byron who hit him, he goes, "Hey Byron, that was a good hit, man. Hey, thanks. He going, hey, good seeing you. This and that." And he goes, he'd be nice with everybody and so forth. He goes, Donovan Sue was probably the biggest, greatest athlete he's ever seen. He goes, that Donovan Sue was just a beast. And he would come and Donovan Sue hit him and just bow him and elbow him and this and that. And then finally Donovan Sue knocked him down, this and that. And he goes, "Hey man, good hit, this and that." And he goes, Donovan Sue goes, "Dude, I'm not your friend."
Love it. Love
He
it.
goes, "All the other linemen, they would be nice." Donovan Sue goes, "Dude, I'm not your friend." Just like that.
Mahomes does that too. He's like, "Hey, good job, dog. Good job. Good job.
Yeah,
good
they're
job."
always talking to because they don't want to get hit by the Byrons of the world. You know what I mean? They're trying to, oh, okay, this and that. He goes,
But
Donovan
you still
Sue
hit him
had,
anyway.
yeah, but Donovan Sue had none of that. Just was point blank mean. "I'm not your friend, dude." Just like
That's
that.
the Giants way.
So I thought that was funny. And then
Yeah.
the other thing was shoot, what was the other one? I thought it was with Belichick. I forgot that there was, but Belichick made a comment about something about if this happens, I'll post it on Instagram and MySpace.
Belichick said that?
MySpace.
That's not the Patriot way.
It was funny. There was-
Belichick still on AOL Instant Messenger.
He still has AOL, yeah. So, all right, gentlemen. Well, happy New Year, Joey. Thanks for coming on. Hey, we finally
Thank
got
you so much.
Brandon Staley. Hey, look, I wish him the best in his family. I never wish anybody being fired. But when
He'll
we
be
talk
fine.
about professional,
But he
athletes,
deserved it.
But two things: when we're talking about professional athletes being fired, they've made millions. So it's not like we're, saying
he's
hey,
not-
are you-
he's not in the
you know,
streets.
Somebody, making 70, 80,000. I don't want nobody's family to ever
He's a
hurt. You know what I
millionaire.
mean? It's like freaking Jimbo Fisher. I can't stand. Fire me 10 times and give me $75 million.
His retirement check.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Exactly. So
College football, bro. Wow.
all right, so we got the college football game going on. We have some good games coming on. I really appreciate Santiago. This is looking up pretty good. Byron, you doing good with StreamYard? I like StreamYard. I just got to figure
Yeah, I
out when
guess
someone's
so.
knocking on the door.
If Byron approves, everyone's approved.
Yeah, we're
We're good.
we're good. All righty. Well, you guys have a good night. Don't forget to subscribe to Sportscast, Jersey Boy Sports Talk every Thursday at 8 p.m. Streaming live 8 p.m.
What time, Byron?
8 p.m. We're gonna have
8.
Papa Joe from WCFL on our show next week. We're gonna talk.
Papa
about
Paul's
what's
coming next week. Yep.
Papa Paul's coming next week.
He's being
Talk about
objective
the
next week.
Dolphins. Yeah, he is. He's been pretty
Yeah,
good.
okay.
He came on our show. He was good. He was good. It's just a matter of how much,
He just needed to be challenged by you, Victor. That's what he needed.
Hey, look, at the end of the day, and Big Philly too. What I mean? They were shocked when we go against our Giants, right? I mean, I'm like, look, we're point
Yeah.
blank. We're gonna
I
call
was
it like
there,
it
Victor,
is.
at the stadium.
Yeah. So, but they complimented a lot of things. So they're good guys. They had a good show. So, all right, next Thursday. Thank you very much. Don't forget, subscribe to our channel. Hit the smash button. We got some other pieces of financial, but it's getting late. We're a little bit over time. This was a good show. Thank you. Hey, Joey, always a pleasure having you come on.
Thank you. Thank you.
We wish you luck in the Steelers. We'd like to get you guys into the playoffs. And, I'm a big Tomlin fan. And hey, win with those crazy receivers for Byron. Byron, I'm impressed that you're finally letting go of your man crush of Danny Jones.
That's my idol, man.
He's the football player.
I love.
He's a football player.
Yes, he
He's
is.
a football
Danny
player.
Dimes.
Danny dies.
Where's
They
Tommy
did my boy
DeVito?
Eli. I should have left DeVito in. I don't understand that. The passing Paisan.
yeah,
Where's that going now?
Yeah.
Where's that going now?
Right on the
Where's his
bench.
agent?
There you go. Right
Yeah, go throw him in the bathroom. Throw him in the bathroom.
Cutlet.
Put him in the bathroom. All right, gentlemen, you have a good night. God bless, and have a great week. Looking for some good football. Santiago, we'll talk soon.
Go
We'll talk
Dolphins.
to you soon. Bye. Good night.
Right.
All right, hold on. I gotta do my thing. Joe. Yes, sir. And Brandon Santiago. I am getting ready
Hit outro.
to.